Welcome back to another episode of BGCTV. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Kelly. And we're back with an extra special theme for today.
Mythical creatures. Mythical creatures are so cool, so I'm excited to talk about them today.
We're sure that you've heard of many different kinds of mythical creatures, like unicorns and Bigfoot. There are actually tons of different creatures talked about all around the world. And today we're going to tell you about a few from each part of the world.
Mythical creatures have been around for ages, and they started in old mythology and folklore.
Mythical creatures usually start as just a story, but people keep telling that story over and over until it becomes a legend. Some people believe these creatures are real, and others don't. It's up to you to decide if you believe.
We're going to get into different kinds of mythical creatures from different parts of the world. So to start, let's go to Joe to talk about all the ones you can find in Africa.
Today, we are on the hunt for some of the many mythical creatures you can find down here in Africa. While we're on this hunt, I will talk to you about some of the creatures that I am on the lookout for. Like this lightning bird, which story originated in South Africa. This bird is black and white and is the size of a person. It is said that these birds can summon thunder and lightning with its wings and claws. These birds also have the ability to turn themselves into male humans. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Some say that you can see these birds during a lightning storm. Now, as I mentioned earlier, they can summon lightning, but how can they do that? Well, they are said to use their fat as fuel, which it sets on fire when it wants to throw lightning. Now let's soar on over to our next creature called the Ninki Nanka, which comes from West African legends. There are many different ways to describe this creature, but the most common animal is almost dragon-like. According to the legends, Ninki Nanka live in the swamps of West Africa, and they are very large and mean, so it's best to stay away from the swamps. Now, this last one likes to slither around. It's called the Funkwe. It is a giant snake in South African legends. It is said that this thing is about 80 miles long. That's, a bit larger than a single football field. Just slightly. The Funkwe looks like a typical snake, except it has a fish-like tail. In the legends, it is said that they live at the very beginning of rivers, and when they want to get food, they swim to the other side of the river and eat fish there. Now, those were some of the legends, and I'm really glad that they are just legends. That's all the time I have left. Now it's time to go back with Elizabeth and Kelly.
Hi guys, we're back to talk all about mythical creatures in Asia.
We're going to start off by talking about the moon rabbit, which originated in China. This is just the shape of a rabbit on the moon's surface. The story started when there was a huge disease around there, and the rabbit on the moon was the only thing that could save them. Such an interesting story.
I agree. All right, I want to talk about the next one. The next one is the Pixiu. The Chinese call it a fortune beast. It has the head of a dragon and the body of a horse, and it can fly. The Pixiu brings happiness and good luck to people. It has a strong will to protect others.
That is super neat.
I agree. Another creature similar to the Pixiu is the Qilin. Qilin are thought to be a symbol of luck, good omens, protection, prosperity, success, and longevity by the Chinese.
That is super cool. I want to talk about the last one. The last one I'm going to talk about is Chinese dragons. I'm sure you have seen these before, but these are super neat. The most common one looks like a snake with 4 legs. The dragon is a symbol of power, strength, and good luck for the people who are worthy of it.
Wow, awesome. Sounds like there's a lot of different symbols in the Asian culture that represent power and good luck.
There are definitely many symbols. This isn't even all of them.
Well, let's take a quick commercial break, and then we're off to Kaylee for the wellness tip.
Mythical creatures are so good at hiding in plain sight that we aren't really sure if they're real or not. So what if you wanted to see one of them in real life? Well, don't worry, I have just the thing for you. The creature tracker. The creature tracker is just the device you need. You just type in what creature you're looking for example, a dragon, and then the device works just like a metal detector. And will beep rapidly once you get close to the creature. And let's just hope these creatures aren't angry.
Hey guys, welcome back for today's daily wellness tip. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about emotions, what they are, and how to control them. We have had emotions since we were all babies. Babies react to their emotions with facial expressions or with actions like laughing, cuddling, or crying. They feel and show emotions, but they can't name the emotion or say why they feel the way that they feel yet. As we grow up, we understand our emotions more and more. Instead of just reacting fast, we can identify what we feel and put it into words. With time and practice, we get better at knowing what we are feeling and why. This is called emotional awareness. Emotional awareness simply means recognizing, respecting, and accepting your feelings as they happen. It also helps us know what we need and want or don't want. It helps us build better relationships. That's because being aware of our emotions can help us talk about feelings more clearly, resolve problems better, and move past difficult feelings more easily. All emotions tell us something about ourselves and our situation, but sometimes we find it hard to like the way we feel. We might judge ourselves for feeling a certain way, like if we feel jealous or mad. But instead of thinking we shouldn't feel that way, it's better to notice how we actually feel. So, how can we control our emotions? Honestly, it is kind of hard to control your emotions, but there are definitely ways you can calm your emotions if needed. Every night before bed, write in a notebook or a journal and write everything good that happened in your day, but also write everything negative that happened in your day, but also how you can make it better tomorrow. Then, at the bottom, I want you to write all the emotions you felt that day and all the emotions you are currently feeling. It is so important to make sure you are expressing your emotions to someone or in your diary. Don't keep them bottled up, and I promise it will make you feel better. Well, that's all I have for today, guys, but thanks for joining me. Don't forget to smile. Bye!
Welcome back. It's time to talk about the mythical animals that are a little closer to home.
We're going to share a few of the legendary creatures that are from North and South America. The first one is from right here in the United States, Mothman.
Mothman is pretty creepy because he's exactly what he sounds like, a giant moth that looks like a man.
The legends of Mothman came from West Virginia, where people have claimed to see him flying around. They even have a whole Mothman festival there.
Ugh, no thank you.
All right, for the next creature, we're heading down to the Amazon rainforest in Peru. The Yak Umama is a giant snake that some people believe lives in the rainforest. They say it's the biggest snake in the world.
Yak Umama means mother of water because people believe that she is the mother of all the water creatures. The story came from two men who say they saw her in the water, but that was over 100 years ago.
Yikes. Let's move on, Elizabeth. I don't like snakes.
All right, Kelly. But you probably won't like the next one either. El Hombre Caimán, or the Alligator Man, is a legend from Colombia. As you can probably guess, he's part man, part alligator.
Okay, I'm going to just stop you right there. I think we need to move on to something less scary. You're going to give me nightmares.
Fine. But remember, all of these creatures probably aren't real anyways. We've got one more to talk about, but he's much less scary.
Very true. The last one is pretty famous. I'm sure you've heard of him. Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is a big, hairy creature that kind of looks like a half man, half ape. They call him Bigfoot because of the huge footprints he supposedly leaves behind.
He has been spotted all over North America, but most of the sightings are in the Pacific Northwest, places like Oregon, Washington, and even Canada. Bigfoot likes the wilderness, so he's usually spotted in forests.
If you've ever heard of a Sasquatch, they're pretty much the same as Bigfoot. It's just another name for it.
True, but he prefers to be called Bigfoot.
You know, Kelly, from the way you talk about him, it sounds like you kind of believe he's real.
Listen, I can't go into much detail about it, but I may or may not have taken a trip to Oregon a few weeks back, and I may or may not have been hiking in the forest, and I may or may not have spotted him.
Gone squatching.
What can I say? Some people go fishing. I prefer squatching.
Well, that seems like a good place to stop. Let's head over to Joe, who'll be teaching us all about the mythical animals in another part of the world.
The last mythical creatures I talked about came from African legends. Now I'm going to talk about creatures from Europe and Australia. The first creature is called the Kelpie. They are said to be shape-shifting water spirits that live in the waters of Scotland. The legends say that they look like black horses and they were able to turn themselves into humans. Some believe that the Loch Ness monster is actually a Kelpie and that people have seen it over the years. Legend has it that Kelpies like to be by themselves, just like me on most days. You've probably heard about our next creature, the Pegasus. Pegasus are white horses with wings that are as long as 26 feet. Now, in the legends, it is said that wherever it steps, water springs burst forth. This horse was said to be immortal, or that it could live it forever. And after a while, the horse was placed amongst the stars. He became a constellation, and when that constellation was seen, it was supposed to be spring. Now, I bet you've never heard of this last one. It's named the Douro Wang. It is said to look like a giant lizard with a long neck and spots like a giraffe. The Dur Wong is said to be a creator being, which taught people many things like games and dancing and even dreams. In the legends, this is known as the protector of the people from the rainbow serpent. It is said that the Dur Wong and the rainbow serpent fought, and the battles created rivers and islands. That's all the information I could dig up on these mythical creatures. Maybe if the Douro Wang is real, he could teach me a bit more. Now, after this break, Elizabeth and Kelly are going to be making some big waves with these next creatures.
There are so many different types of driving services, but let me tell you the ultimate one. And it's called the Pegasus. It's exactly what it sounds like, and it's kind of obvious what it is, but a Pegasus will come and pick you up and take you to where you want to go. And you don't even need a cell phone. You just scream at the top of your lungs, ah! And then you see who gets there first, a Pegasus or a clap. It's a little dicey. Be sure to scream for your Pegasus today.
Welcome back, everyone. Now that we've talked about mythical creatures around the world, it's time to dive into a new category, ocean creatures.
Back in Ocean Week, we talked about the most famous mythical creature, mer people. Remember, mermaids and mermen are just creatures with a human upper half and a tail on the bottom.
Another type of creature that people sometimes confuse with mer people are Selkies. Selkies are creatures that can turn from a seal into a human.
The myth of the Selkie started in Scotland, where they say that some of the female Selkies would turn into humans and go on shore to marry the Scottish men.
Interesting. Those men will be in for a surprise if their wife suddenly turns back into a seal.
Yep, that would be pretty sealy.
All right, Kelly, why don't you tell us about the next one?
Sure. The next one is one of my favorites, the Loch Ness Monster, also known as Nessie.
Good old Nessie. Where did the story of Nessie start?
This one is from Scotland too. Loch Ness is actually a place in the Scottish Highlands.
So a lot of people say they've seen Nessie, right?
Oh yeah. Nessie is so well known, probably because people are always posting pictures of a mysterious water creature, and everyone thinks it's Nessie.
How long ago did this all start?
Well, the first mention of a sea monster in that area goes all the way back to the year 565. But Nessie didn't really start getting famous until the 1930s, when people could start taking pictures of her. This is one of the really famous pictures of her that we first saw, but it was later revealed to be a hoax.
Wow, it looks so real.
Right? People are still posting pictures to this day. A guy posted this picture on Twitter just a few weeks ago, and many people are saying it's Nessie.
So crazy. All right, before we go, I want to talk about one more creature, the Kraken.
Ooh, sounds cool.
Yeah, Krakens are awesome. They basically look like a giant octopus. Most people think the story of the Kraken started from sightings of giant squids off the coast of Greenland. People spread the story of the giant Kraken, and this creature still pops up in movies today.
Yeah, wasn't there a Kraken in Pirates of the Caribbean?
Funny you mentioned that. Yep, they're pretty freaky, huh?
I'll say. Well, I think we should turn the time over to Kaylee, who's sitting down for an interview with a friendlier and furrier mythical creature.
Hey guys, we have a very special guest on our show today. Thanks for joining us, Nettie the Yeti, all the way from the Himalayas.
Thank you. I am happy to be here.
We are so lucky to have you here. This is the first time you have ever been interviewed, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I prefer to stay in the cold, alone, away from humans.
Oh, well then we appreciate you coming into our studio on this hot summer day. Some people don't believe you exist. What would you like to say to those people?
People have been chasing after me for many years. Even the FBI have gotten involved. But I am a master at hide and seek, so no one has been able to find me. At least not Yeti. It's okay if you don't believe in me. I would rather not be bothered. If people believed in me, I would never get any rest.
Understandable. We all want to know, are you related to Sasquatch?
Sasquatch? Yes, he's my favorite cousin. But we can't call him that. He prefers Bigfoot. We spend every Christmas together. He's great at pickleball. I haven't been able to beat him yet, but I will.
That must be quite a match to watch. Before you go, Nettie, do you have any advice for our audience?
I do. Always believe in yourself.
That is a good message. Thank you. I bet that has been especially important in your case. It has been great visiting with you. Thanks for being with us today. Now back to Elizabeth and Kelly in the newsroom.
Thanks, Kaylee. That's it for today's show, everyone.
We hope you enjoyed learning about mythical creatures from around the world. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about creatures from the past, but these ones aren't just legends, they're real.
Don't forget to check out the links to do art with Holly and try another symmetry dance with Kaylee and her cool friend Kenley.
And let us know in the comment box if you believe that the Loch Ness Monster is real.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Elizabeth, wait! Aren't you forgetting something?
What?
It's time to announce the winner of BGC's Got Talent.
Oh, that's right.
We saw some pretty amazing talents last week, but we've counted up the votes and it's time to reveal the top contestants.
In second place, drum roll please. James and Gerardo with their TikTok dance.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Your talent is truly an inspiration to us all. Now, for first place.
Thanks, I'm Ethan.
Ethan the Disco Dancer!
Way to go, Ethan. Maybe we can invite him back on the show to teach us some of his cool moves.
Great idea, Elizabeth. All right, now we can end the show.
You sure there's not anything else we forgot?
I'm sure.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.